Hey guys, welcome to Podcast Fandom, the official podcast for ProjectFandom.com. I'm your host, Nina.
I'm Donald.
And I'm Kaylee.
And we are back to start a brand new series. This is our family viewing, which isn't very family friendly, I suppose. But this show is replacing...
There's life lessons.
Life lessons. Don't gamble. Yeah, this is replacing Black Summer. And so we had a poll, right? And each one of us picked a show, and our listeners were able to vote on the show that would replace Black Summer. And we didn't tell you which show was whose choice, right? And this show was one of the options, and it came in second. Squid Game. And we're doing it anyway because I make the rules. No, we are also we are also going to do the show that won, which was Donnie's selection. What was it called? Mysterious Benedict Society, right? Yeah.
Yep.
We're still going to do that. I just pushed it back, and the reason being, I did not expect this show to take off the way it has when I picked it. I am subscribed to a Netflix YouTube channel called The Swoon, SWOON, and it shares trailers for upcoming Korean dramas, Korean content that's coming to Netflix. So I saw the trailer for this like well over a month ago, and that's why I picked it. So obviously, this was my pick. And Kaylee, you picked The Girl from Nowhere, which you and I are just going to watch without podcasting. Mm-hmm. Right? So anyway, so I just thought, I like this type of stuff. I know Kaylee likes this type of stuff. I know Donnie. So I was like, this would be good for us to talk about. I didn't know that it was going to take off to the point where it's like, you need to watch it quickly before you get spoiled.
Can I say something?
No.
She's about to tell us she got spoiled.
Yeah.
Kaylee!
I can't, it's everywhere!
Kaylee!
It's so I just got spoiled on one little thing, and I barely know the context.
Oh my god, I'm so devastated. Like, to the point where when Donnie interrupted and was like, she got spoiled, I was legit about to say, no, she didn't. Shut up. Oh my god. At worst, I thought she was going to say, I watched some of episode 3 or so. No. Oh man. Is it
I'm just as upset too.
How? Twitter?
Because it's like...
Stay off the Twitters!
No, I need to. It's like, I told you, I mentioned this to you before, but there's like, I follow a lot of artists, or like, even if I don't follow them, I'll still see fan art everywhere. And it's like, it's harder to avoid getting spoiled if it's art than if it was just text.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I'll be scrolling and I'll just see something. I'm like, oh no.
Ugh. Like, how do I manage to actually how do I not get spoiled and you get spoiled? Oh, God. So, yeah, well, see, I was too late. We should have started this last week. I wanted to. I was trying to be good. But anyway, yeah, so if you haven't figured it out, we're going to be talking about Squid Game. We're going to talk about episodes 1 and 2. And we're going to cover this 2 at a time. And the publication of these podcasts will probably be kind of rapid. Again, because I want to get them out while people are actually interested in the show. So, before we talk about the details of the show, overall thoughts, Kaylee, I'll start with you, Miss I Can't Not Get Spoiled on Twitter.
It's not my fault. I love this show, and it's I can tell just by kind of looking at like thumbnails of the show, like what it's about. I don't know how I knew, but I could just tell. Oh, it's one of those. And I mentioned this a bunch of times too. I read a lot of manga, and there's lots of manga that would fall under this trope or this genre of like people being put into these killing game situations. And there's also a lot of video games like that too. So I'm used to this kind of stuff, and I really enjoy it. It's one of my favorite genres. So I'm just kind of surprised that people are enjoying it as much as they are, as if it's like brand new, which I guess to them it is. But I've seen like dozens of other series and stuff like this, so it's like just another one of those for me. But I'm glad that people are liking it.
I was telling Kaylee and I were talking about this before, Donnie, and I was telling her that we had stuff like this, like Cube.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
and that's
I don't
what
know if it's
the
like
show,
the
that's
same.
what it reminds me of. Well, an escape room type of thing.
Yeah, but yeah, like it's like people wake up in the same locked space. Right. They don't know each other. They seemingly have nothing in common, and it's like play a game to. Yeah.
And they're doing it for same types of reasons. They're looking. People are doing it for fame or money, or
so
there's a motive behind it.
Donnie, before you say what your thoughts, I just want to make it clear that this was my choice. And it didn't win because you people don't know good things when it's presented to you. But anyway, Donnie, what did you think?
No, I loved it. I didn't know anything about this show. I didn't watch any trailers. I have not gotten spoiled on Facebook or because I don't use the Twitters. But yeah, I don't know what to expect, but it's my type of genre. This is shit I'd like to watch. So,
well, I love it, and again, this was my choice, so yeah. Let me pull up my notes to make sure I don't forget anything. I thought I could kind of do this off the top of my head. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I was so excited to see certain actors to show up in this. Okay, so episode 1 is called Red Light, Green Light. The main character is Gi-hun, and he's pretty irresponsible. How old is he? It said, right? He's in his 40s? Is he in his 40s?
I don't know. I remember how old the Ida-looking guy is because I remember thinking he doesn't look that old.
Yeah, we even said that. Sang-woo, like he is in his 40s.
46.
46. Yeah, we're like, he doesn't look 46. But Gi-hun is kind of up there in age, and he lives with his mom. He's divorced. He has a daughter with his ex-wife whose birthday it is when the show starts. And again, he says he has a job as a chauffeur. That's a lie, right?
No, because he talks to him in the second episode. He's like, I'll continue chauffeuring it for you for free. But he was trying to get money from him, remember? Oh, the guy. Oh, I thought that. I don't know. I kind of missed that part of it. He's like, I'll chauffeur for you. I'll be delivery. He named off a couple of things he'd do.
Oh, okay. So but at this point, he doesn't have money to do anything for his daughter's birthday. So his mother has to give him cash to like get her the fried chicken she wants for dinner. And then he's like, you can't get much of anything for that. Give me more money. I was like, oh. And she's like literally like struggling to stand up straight as she's preparing to go to work. I was like, oh, they're going to make it hard to root for this guy. But then, so he's like steals money from her, by stealing her ATM card, and then goes and gambles the money away. But then he wins, but then he owes the money.
But he loses the money before he owes the money.
Right. But yeah, he loses the money before he owes the money. Now I thought like so I will admit that I knew some about this show, like, because I picked it, right? So I don't remember how much the trailer shows, but I do remember like stopping at a certain point. And I think it might have been like the red light, green light game. But I do remember thinking in this scene where he's like the loan sharks are messing with him that like, oh, it's going to be one of those shows where it's going to be super gory, you know? Mm-hmm. Because I thought he was going to get that chisel or whatever that was up his nose. But then it didn't happen. So I was like, oh, okay. But then later it was just brains on the TV screen. I was like, oh, okay. I guess it is that type of show. So yeah, he's like, he's at this point, he's just the worst. He asks for his tip back. Because when he won betting on the horses, yeah. You know, how, like, is this still a thing?
What?
Like horse racing?
Yes. They just closed down the one at Portland like a couple of years ago, but there used to be one right north of Portland.
Like, what are you doing with your life if, like, in the middle of the fucking day, in the middle of the week, like a Wednesday, you're just It's like high noon on a fucking Wednesday and you're gambling in the middle of the day.
There's people what do you think Las Vegas is? That's just being able to do it all day long and all night long. But there's people like, especially that when you can go to a casino anytime. People are always going to be in there no matter the time of day. Even.
Speaking of which, like, a lot of this is clearly he has a gambling problem, right?
Right.
Because even when he gets the tip money back, so when he won the money on the horses, and you're thinking, oh, okay, he's going to be able to pay his mother back and like take care of his daughter's birthday. He loses the money to a pickpocket, and then the loan sharks beat him up a bit, and he signs away on some sort of agreement. He literally signs it in blood with a thumbprint. I saw somebody react to this episode on YouTube. And they were like, is that like legally binding in Korea? And I was like, you idiot. Like, yes, that's a thing they do over in Korea. You have to get your blood. Don't care where it comes from.
You ain't moving in today until you give me some of that blood.
Right? Like, what is wrong with you? Is that a thing? Is that legally binding in Korea? Like, oh my God. But anyway, I feel bad if like somebody listening to this like knows what reactor I'm talking about.
What if it's the reactor?
Listening. Sorry. But come on, man, that was a stupid thing to say. But yeah, so even when he gets the tip back, he goes, and instead of just going to get the fried chicken, which was like the bare minimum of what he was asked, he goes and he gambles that in a fucking claw machine.
to get a prize. A nice gift.
And it's like, if not for this little kid helping him, he wouldn't have gotten anything because he sucked at it. Mm. So then he goes to dinner with his daughter, and it's not the fried chicken she wanted. It's tteokbokki.
Nah, I wouldn't complain.
And she didn't either. She liked it.
Well, she was also full. Good. But it was okay because she had steak earlier with her real dad.
Like, this is my snack after dinner. My real dad.
And then so he tries to like, he's like, oh, but I did get you a present. And he gives her the thing from the claw machine. It's a fucking toy gun. This daughter is so sweet because she was trying so hard to like not make him feel bad, including we find out later not telling him that her and the mom and the mom's new husband, they're moving to the United States. the next year. So she's like, it's okay. All the kids got lighter guns at school. This is just what I wanted. So on his way home, he meets the mysterious man who is credited as the salesman, I believe. Yeah, and he's played by Gong Yu.
The one that started the zombie apocalypse.
Right. Oh, I just realized that's so funny that like the first time we see him, it's a train station. Mm-hmm. Maybe the first and only time we see him. But anyway, Ki Hyun is approached by this man who wants to play a game. I forgot the name of the game. Shit. Do you remember what this is called, Kaylee?
No, I don't remember the name of it, no.
Okay, so it is the object of the game. It's like, I'm assuming it's like special paper at the very least. Like
a special type of...
Like a type of paper, like maybe construction paper versus like, printer paper or something. And it feels like it has to be folded a certain way as well, right?
It's like those things you would
like folding an envelope.
Or when kids going in high school and stuff like that, folding papers to send notes.
Oh, or remember that little game where you put your fingers in it and you write choices and then
or even paper
open
football.
Close. Yeah, open close, open close, open close.
Kaylee's like, I don't know.
Kaylee's like, y'all are so old and you're embarrassing me on the podcast. She says you're embarrassing me on the podcast again. Might as well be talking in another language.
We did the thing where you would fold paper and it was like a little fortune teller thing.
Yeah, what were you doing passing notes in school?
No, I didn't. It was just you fold paper and you're telling, it's like...
Yeah, the fortune, yeah.
Corner.
I know.
That's the only thing I did with paper, really.
Okay. She's like, damn sure I ain't doing any schoolwork.
I drew on paper.
But, yeah, so the object of the game is each person has this folded piece of paper, kind of has some heft to it, right? And they're each a different color. And they take turns throwing their folded paper, their folded square, onto the ground, trying to hit the other person's square, which is just lying there, and making the other person's square flip over when it hits. And so he offers Ki-hyun an opportunity to play and win 100,000 won, which is, what did we squeeze? 100,000 was, is it $100?
I thought it was 1,000.
Why do I don't know why my brain refuses to. And you would think, because I moderate the podcast and I got to keep talking and keeping it flowing, one of these two would offer to look it up, but I bet you they're not.
I mean, I would.
You see how you are?
My phone, but you don't like it when I pull up my phone.
Yeah, that's also true. Donnie has no excuse. Hold on a second. And then we have to remember this, okay? Because we can't do this every episode.
Can't look up the conversion rates between won and US dollars. We just have to remember it.
That's our homework, Haley.
Just like an approximate.
Well, do you at least know like how much is equivalent to $1? And you can just kind of go from there, right?
Yeah, but it's
to give a rough estimate.
Oh my god, will you stop asking me hard things?
I thought you would at least know that.
Well, it's like, the way I remember it, like, it's a little less. So it's like, what is that, 85 cents to the dollar, I think. So in my head, it's like, yeah. If it's 5,000 won, it's like a little less than $5. It's like $4.85 or something like that, I think. So 5,000 would be, let's say, $5, right? Mm-hmm. Then 50,000 would be $50. So 100,000 would be $100. Yeah. Okay. I think that's right.
Or a little less than $100.
A little less than $100. Right. I'm just trying to put it into perspective because and I'm going to double check that if this is right or not. But because in our group, somebody was watching this and like live commenting on it in our Facebook group. And they were like, so who's out here getting slapped for 100K? And so my brain, you say 100K, I'm automatically like 100 grand, US dollars. So I raised my hand. I'll take one slap for 100K.
Have you seen people on Twitter who are like, if it's getting slapped by him, I'll do it for free?
It's also sane. But like, so I was like, yeah, but then I realized like the conversion, that's like no, I'm not getting slapped for $100.
No.
No. All right, so let's see what this is. Yeah, so 10,000 won is like less than $10. Yeah, and 100,000 won is $84.56. So yeah, so he he keeps losing. So he loses the first time, and he looks all sheepish. He's like, I don't have any money. He's like, 돈 없어? He's like, so he's like, you could pay with your body. He's like, what does that mean? Slap. And so, like, it's like this, you just see all these trains coming and going and people just going, and he's, like, trying and losing, and his face is just getting redder and redder. To the point where when he finally won, he did not even remember he got money. He just wanted to hit the guy. Oh. And so it is implied, right, that he played more, right?
Oh yeah, because he had a ton.
He had more, yeah.
What the 100,000?
Okay, that's right. I thought so. But when he proposes, when the salesman proposes that there's another game that he could play and win a lot more money, he kind of pushes back, and then it turns out the salesman knows everything about him. Mm-hmm. Like all the money he owes and about his daughter.
It's a red flag already.
Right. And then he learns from his mother that his daughter is leaving the next year. And like, grandmother is like, I mean, I get it, but she was like, when she goes to America, she'll forget to learn how to speak Korean. And like,
she'll forget you.
And I was like, oh, grandma, you're really not helping.
She'll forget me.
But also, your son ain't shit. I don't know why you're pushing so hard. Like, oh. Yeah, so when they call, so he ends up calling the number on the card and then getting in that van. Getting in that van and then seeing all the people pass out and being like, oh, I guess it was nap time. Meanwhile, the guy in the front has on a fucking gas mask. So then he wakes up in the game, the Squid Game, I guess.
The bunks.
Yeah.
In their new clothes.
And again, my main concern would be like, who took my clothes off? Like this is a violation. Like nobody cared about that. I'd have been like, what the entire fuck? That's a violation. Yeah, so he wakes up, we meet, so they're numbered. So at this point, for the most part, I'm going to refer to them by their numbers. When they're in the game, and just because it'll be easier, and then as we start learning more people's name, then obviously I'll use their names. But we meet the old guy, right? And number one, and we meet 101, who is. Like, I don't know. He's basically like, he's a criminal of some sort. I wasn't exactly sure. Like, whatever.
The guy with the tattoo?
Yeah, on his neck. Like, whatever he did.
Anytime you see a neck tattoo, that's a criminal. I mean, come on.
Yeah. He seems like a mobster kind of guy.
That's so classist and terrible, Donnie. Obviously we find out later more, but like whatever he's into, or at least one of the things he's into, he accuses number 67, the girl who pickpockets Ki-hun early in the episode. He accuses her of like working for him, learning everything about the business, and then betraying him. And she was like, no, I just like started my own thing. So I'm not exactly like sure what that's supposed to mean, but either way, he's in there, and like you think he starts attacking her, and you think Ki-hun's gonna like break it up and like save her, but he's like, where's my fucking money? So they put all of their business, like there was like one person, Sang-woo, whose number I don't think I wrote down because I know his name. But he is friends, like he grew up with Ki-hun, and he is like, his mother has a fish market and like brags about him because he's supposed to be in America, you know, working this great job, making a lot of money, and he's not. He's up here in his little green sweatsuit. His little glasses on, broke as fuck. So, but yeah, when he's like, why should we trust you guys? The guys running the game in the like red jumpsuits. And they're like, they put all his business up on the screen. And it's also like body cam footage of them getting slapped. So it's like, not only are you all like heavily in debt, but like you all played this game. So we know how desperate you all are. And then like Kaylee and I noted, like after they put Sang-woo's business up there, they started calling out other people. And we were like, they didn't say anything. I'd be like, why you gotta put my business? You had me at hello. So, what I don't really remember, like, what the rule is. Like, they don't know how much money it is at the end, right?
No, they do. Well, after the first game, I think he says how much money each game is worth, and then if you like do some kind of dividing of the people that died and all that stuff, then you see, because that's how I think the rule.
I remember 46 million, or was it 460 million won? I remember that amount,
something like that. And they're saying, okay, this many people died, and they're like, okay, if you guys vote to stay in the game, this money's yours. If you guys vote to end the game, then all this goes to the dead people,
the family of the deceased, right?
Yeah, it was like a certain. It was like a certain dollar amount.
Dollar amount per person, right? So, but the gist of it is that they have to play 7 games total.
I thought it was six
games total. And their rules. The first one being like you can't say no, right? And once you start playing, you can't stop. And then we find out the third one later, at the beginning of the second episode. It's if a majority of the players vote to end the games, then it ends. So they all sign it away, and they get their photos taken, and they go upstairs for red light, green light.
And Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory.
Now, could you do this?
Red light, green light?
Yeah.
Yes.
But could you, like, okay, assuming, like, you knew the rules. No. Let's start with what actually happened. Like, even assuming, like, the carnage and everything. Like, that one kid gets shot. Not even the guy closest to him didn't know that it was real until the second time, right? Until he got closer. It was like, get up. And then he coughed out the blood. So, like, at that moment, like, could you have done this? You wouldn't have started running when that guy started running? I think I might have started running. Like, reflex, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't.
It's easy. Okay, whatever. I think, and that's what makes it like. I mean, all this is fucked up. Let's be clear, but I think that makes it like extra tragic. Is like there's some people who just didn't even know why they were running. If that makes sense. So they go through it. What's the number of the guy who saves Kihan at the end?
I don't know.
099, I think.
99? Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't know his number, but I know his name.
Ah, that's even better. What's his name?
Ali.
Ollie, yeah.
That feels racist, but okay. I'm gonna take y'all's word for it. Don't be setting a sister up with your evil Caucasian ways. Okay. Ali. Okay. And you said he's 99? You think? Oh, yeah. Nico. So, now, can we talk about how number one was having the time of his life? Why are you like all giggling?
He did have the time of his life until the dude was shot. And then he's like, oh, yeah, this is tight.
Like, okay, so has he done this before? Is that why he's won? And is that why he was so good at that?
And you think he doesn't remember because
of his brain tumor?
I don't know. Well, God, that's extra tragic. You guys, Jesus fucking Christ. No, I was just saying that, like, it's like something that doesn't end. Like, you think that I don't know.
Yeah, because, like, there's no way this is the first time it's all happening.
Right. And so, like,
doing this for the first time.
Yeah. And, like, yeah, because now I guess we can, like, go into episode 2. I was really surprised that, like, how they let them leave.
Mm-hmm.
You know? They weren't going to let him leave, but it was thankfully that one dude actually read the fucking contract. Because after they said that thing, if you go, the person said, what can we do if we don't play? And they're like, you'll be eliminated. And he's like, well, like, Section 3 says.
Right. But, I mean, they're under no obligation to remind you of the rules, if that makes sense. There's a difference between me saying, here are the rules, and then you read them, and then you're like, what happens if I do this? Well, I mean, look at the paper. But if you choose not to look at the paper, I'm going to tell you, oh, well, if you do that, you're eliminated. That's it. I'm under no obligation to say, but also look at rule number 3, you know? Like, yeah. All right. So wait, before we talk more about number 1, we got to talk about the dude watching all of this.
Dr. Doom.
And that... There's like this cool shot when he's in the elevator going up, down, I don't remember. The design of the elevator, like the top of the door, it makes it look like he has horns, which I thought was interesting, like devil horns. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I bet he's white.
Just because he's spoken English.
He's an Elon Musk motherfucker out there.
Nah, this is some white people shit, Kaylee. That's why.
Well, yeah, it just sounded like he had like an accent if he spoke in English.
Wait a second. So, like, unlike you two, I only watched the subs. We watched the subs together, but then when you two watched it on your own, you watched dubbed.
I was just curious to see what it sounded like. Going forward, I think I'm going to watch it in subbed.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just wanted to see, like, if it was good dubbed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And even then, I watched like less than half of the second episode.
Right, no. No, but I heard that the dub is actually good. And the bit that I heard when Daddy was watching it, when I was downstairs while he was watching it, I thought was pretty good.
Yeah,
like,
I
had
the voice
no
of
complaints.
The main character.
Mm-hmm. And then I found out, because it turns out someone I follow on Twitter is one of the voice actors of the dub for Player 244, I think the number is. And he said all of the voice actors are Asian. AAPI. API. Mm-hmm. So, that was cool.
That is cool.
All right. So, that's a white man up there drinking while poor people suffer. No, but it's a rich person, clearly. Mm-hmm. So, Daddy, I gotta stop calling you that on the podcast. It just sounds wrong.
When we first watched it, my first thought was it was mm-hmm. like basically gambling also. That was just a bunch of rich people. Just because he does make the phone call, like this is the front desk and we're ready. It's and like who the fuck if he's in charge and he's doing this and who's he talking to? It just didn't make sense on that sense. So my other thought was that he's this guy doing it, but he's the orchestrator where there's a bunch of rich people actually watching it, gambling on
right. Like at home,
they're sitting there playing Keno, and they're like, "Oh shit, that number's dead."
Oh,
human Keno.
Oh, don't say that.
That's probably what it is.
Oh, so when they vote, when they vote whether or not they want to continue, I think it's interesting that he brings up that rule, right? Like, oh, we get to vote. And then they start, before they vote, the guy is like, well, let me tell you how much money's at stake. And they stand there for an uncomfortable amount of time watching this disco ball above them fill up with cash.
It's a piggy bank.
It's all small. You probably all like small amounts. Just making it look a lot more.
It's like if it was just like dollar bills.
Make it rain.
But like, Kaylee, you said it's a what?
It's a piggy bank.
Yeah, it was a giant piggy bank.
Is it really shaped like a piggy bank?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because in the second episode, that criminal guy, he's like, we're going to go in there, we're going to steal those piggy banks.
How did I miss that part? I remember him plotting. I didn't remember him saying that.
Yeah, he was going to go in there and get the piggy banks, because that's where all the money was.
His number is 101. Stop calling him criminal guy. Jesus Christ. And I know his name. God damn it! I just had it because when the guy in the car,
Doksu, something like that.
Yeah, because he was like Doksu. He called him by his name. And he looked at him like, excuse you. So anyway, so when they vote, Kihyun is first because he is. I don't know if I said this or not. Like they started with 456 players, and he was number 456, right? Mm-hmm. So they started in reverse order, the vote. So he votes first and he votes to take his ass home. It's like, I am not about this life. And then you think like the first woman who spoke up and was like, I have a child, please let me go. When it came time to vote, she voted to stay because that money made a difference. Oh my God. So now like half of them died, right? We're left with 201 people. Yeah. So what at this, how would you, okay, well first let me find this out. Would you have called the number on the card? Like a flow chart.
Yes. If you're in a dire situation, like they saying every one of those people are. Right. Yes.
You'll call the number. Kaylee?
To go back?
No. From the very beginning.
Just to go.
From the very beginning?
Yeah.
If you had no money, you needed money, and it was like you could be living on the streets.
She's sitting there thinking, that's what y'all for.
Money? What's money?
She's like, what? What language are you speaking?
I don't think I would, no.
Yeah, I was just going to say she wouldn't because she doesn't like talking to people on the phone.
I was just going to say, because I don't know what it is.
She'd be like, Mommy, you call it.
You'd be texting the number.
Next thing you know, my ass is passed out in a van somewhere. How the fuck we get here? I would have called it too. So now you call the number and they tell you, great, be at this place at this time, and you go. And it's clearly like the dead of night because nothing good happens.
Why would you? I would not do this.
Okay, I was going to say, I'm done talking to you. It's like a flow chart. You already said no. You weren't calling a number.
She hasn't struggled yet.
You are out of the game. So, Donnie, yes, you're getting in the van. You're white. What am I saying? So, Donnie, you wake up.
I'm probably getting into a van like they did the second time. Just hopping in that bitch. Let's go.
So you wake up in this Malibu dream house, whatever the fuck this was.
The Willy Wonka chocolate factory.
Right. You wake up and they tell you, oh, you're going to play some games and this is the amount. And if you lose, you'll be eliminated. You're playing, right?
Yes.
Because you already came this far. You're like, what's a little kidnapping?
A lot of Amazing Race, a lot of Survivor.
Donnie's not concerned that he got there via chloroform. He's just like, I'm playing.
And someone took his clothes off and put him in a jersey.
He's fine. He's like, how much? Yeah, he doesn't even know the how much. He's just playing. So you get upstairs, and Donnie has already lied and said that he would not have, like, panicked in the beginning. So, Donnie, you win this, right? You win the red light, green light?
Yes.
All right. It's time to vote. Do you vote to stay, or do you take your ass home to your children?
I vote to stay.
See?
Mm-hmm. Like, why would
Kaylee's like,
right?
Kaylee's like, sounds about white. Oh my God. As soon as you said I vote to stay, she was like, mm-hmm. She's like, I know that's right. So why are you staying? Are you staying because you think these games are not going to get harder? Because I feel like they have to. But like,
you've already done this for the money, but you're not going to see the money unless you see the games through. So you go home.
You didn't
the same situation
know.
you were already in.
Okay, but here's my thing though. You didn't, when you first stepped your ass out onto that field, you didn't know it was life or death. Now right. you survived it. So yay, woo. Praise whoever you pray to. But like now you have a chance to go home. So now you're telling me, even knowing that losing doesn't just mean, oh, well, I don't get the money. It means I get put into a gift box and incinerated with a pretty pink bow. Like, you still vote to stay?
Yep.
What if? Because this first game was like, it required skill. But what if further down the line there's a game that's just based on pure luck? And you're just gambling your life.
I mean, you're an idiot.
I wouldn't take that risk.
Right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's like, are we assuming like all of the games are going to be based on kids' games? And then, oh my God, the last one's going to be that Squid Game that I don't understand from the beginning.
Yeah, I remember watching the episode, and I think he said, like, the rules are very simple. And then the rules were explained for, like, 5 to 10 minutes. I'm like, I still don't understand anything.
Right?
All I heard, it was like, if you die, you die.
Right? I was like, what? What's happening? And you know that one YouTube reactor was like, do they really kill each other over there in the playground? Like, no, idiot, that's America. But no, when he yeah, like Kaylee said, when he started explaining the rules, I was like, I don't understand this at all. And then he says at one point, the person who makes it to here is the inspector something. And he goes, I don't know why it's that, but that's just what it is. And I was like, yeah, I have a feeling all these rules are just like, they just change over time. So yeah, that has to be the last game, right? That's like a giant Squid Game. All right.
I don't think there are going to be that many people left by then, though.
So why didn't number one vote to stay? Because he has a brain tumor. Like, he's like going to die. He's old as is, but he's also, you know, he has this fatal brain tumor. Why didn't he vote to just stay?
Because he suddenly remembered when he won it last time. All the people died. You want to save these people?
I was gonna say,
even though that was my theory, I was still like, what?
He said it so seriously, like,
I know. I was like, huh? Milan won it when?
I was gonna say that I think it's because he doesn't want to drag all these people into it. Like, half of them want to stay, half of them want to go, but he doesn't want to be the deciding factor of all these people's lives.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. He's just not trying to be a dick. He's like, I'm broke, I'm old. I like when Kihan tried to like shame him. He's like, what are you doing here? Why aren't you home, like, with your daughter-in-law serving you good meals and you watching your grandchildren play while you go to sleep? And he was like, yeah, is your wife feeding your dad? Like, what are your kids doing? And Keon, remember, his life is a fucking mess and shut the fuck up. Okay, so they're dropped off, right? Because they vote to go. And, oh wait, one other question. That's why Sangwoo even reminded them to vote. Because he's the one who was like, oh, hey, we get to vote. But when he voted, he also voted to keep playing. Yep. So...
Because he's supposed to be there.
What?
Because he's supposed to be in Korea.
Right, well, true. And the cops is looking for him, we find out later. But, like, I was like, did he also think, well, surely it will be no? Or, I don't know. Like, was it another thing of, like, I don't want to be, like, I don't want it on my conscience. So I'll just make sure everybody is aware. And then, I don't know. I would say he's the feds, except the feds is looking for him. Okay, so they're dropped off, right? And Sangwoo buys Ali some ramen, and he gives him bus fare home. And I was like, why can't you pay your bills? Then he goes right to the cops. Right to the cops. But first he's dropped off with what's her number, 67, I think. And he lets her loose first, and then he's like, okay, untie me next. But she starts putting her clothes on, and he's like, oh right, it's cold, you do that, I'll just wait. And then she just starts to leave. And then he swore on his mother that he would not ask for his money. And the first thing he did was like, bitch, where's my money?
And then he fucking, then his mother's in the fucking hospital, which even makes it worse.
Oh my God. I wasn't even thinking that, but you're right. Oh my God. No wonder he goes back. guilt. Jesus Christ. So, but yeah, he goes right to the cops and they don't believe him. Now, did the cop dial the wrong number, or was that them and they just pretended because it was the cop?
I think I would think that was them. I'm pretty sure that this guy's smart enough to like think ahead of that stuff too. Because as we see later, the detective finds the same card with the same number or a number on it. You would think he would try to give it a call, but I think they were already on like. The second that these
you do that to like
island, they got rid of that number.
And then you get rid of it. Okay. And then Ki-hyun meets with Sang-woo and he admits that he fucked up. Oh wait, there's one thing I want to mention. I forgot. In the beginning, in the first episode, when Ki-hyun wins the money in the train station after getting slapped, he goes to Sang-woo's mother's stand, her market, and he buys some fish and he gives her money and he tells her to keep the change. But it's like he didn't even pay enough. Like what he bought was like 14,000 won and I'm guessing he gave like 10,000 won or something. And she just like rolls her eyes at him. But yeah, he admits that he fucked up and that his mother thinks he's in America and he's doing well. And he did something like when they put his business up on the Summer Jam screen, it was like you siphoned money like from clients or something.
He embezzled. He embezzled.
Yeah. Okay.
In because the cops, when they come to his mother, they say he's wanted for embezzlement, forgery, and something else. Crimes, financial crimes, some kind of financial crimes.
And when he charges his phone in the convenience store, it's like all these missed texts from like the cops and stuff.
Right.
Like if you just come in, you just pay the money back. So now's a good time to ask, because I was wondering this when I watched the second episode. Is this a situation where like these people are like in debt because life is just hard, like no fault of their own, or is it just like a mix? Because like I feel like
so far I think the people that we've heard we really understand their stories is they fucked up.
But it feels like they're all sympathetic except 101, right?
Right.
And I would assume Sang-woo, like he's like this doesn't sound like. I'm just wondering if it's supposed to be wherever.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Oh, okay.
Like, I mean, his crime isn't like when we find out about Ki-hyun's mother, like she's diabetic now, right, and it's pretty advanced and she might lose her feet. Like, I understand why he goes back, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm wondering if they're going to try to present something where, oh, we understand why he stole this money. I understand why 67, we find out in this episode that her family, she's from North Korea, and she was saving money to bring, I'm assuming, her parents. So she's here with her little brother, and he's having a hard time in this, it looks like he's in some sort of orphanage, and he's like bullied and stuff. And I guess someone ran off with the money that she had paid to have her mother brought over. And so I feel bad for her. I feel bad for Ali, whose boss, for whatever reason, ain't paying him.
Right.
He's sitting there playing Minesweeper on his Commodore 64.
I felt like his thing was gambling too. Like I don't know. It just, that game, whatever he's playing on computer, reminded me of some kind of like
yeah. I feel like there's a lot of like, and that's the other thing. He's
probably betting that Ali.
Oh my God, you're terrible.
What did he say?
He's probably betting on Ali.
Because my first theory was that there's
he's
people
betting on the Squid Game. Oh my God, what if that's like how these people are really chosen? Like someone nominates them. Like what if Ki-hyun's mom nominated him?
Jesus Christ.
Like,
go win some money. Get a real job.
Get off your ass.
Save your daughter.
Wait, what if she just gets like like an agent, like a sports agent. So she gets like a signing bonus. So even if he doesn't win, she's already got some cash for like getting her contestant in there.
Oh my god.
The final interview process was that game on the was the game in the train station. They got to see how desperate he was. Oh, we laugh, but watch that be the plot twist. Either that or his daughter nominated him. Oh, but anyway. But yeah, you get what I'm saying, right? Like, so far, those people seem pretty sympathetic. But, like, right now, Sang-woo just
did his own thing for
stole. But then again, I don't know. Maybe he stole from the rich, and I'm okay with that. Let me find out he stole from businesses and CEOs. I'm totally okay with that.
And they put him in the game as payback.
Shut up. Like they're playing The Sims or something. Plot twist, this is just The Sims. So, but okay, that brings me to my next question. Are you sympathetic towards Ki-hyun?
No.
Why?
Wait, which one's he?
The main
guy.
The main guy, no, yes, I am to him.
Okay.
Because he's got an actual disease.
Yeah, because you think he's a gambling addict.
Right.
Yeah.
But then, okay, so in this episode when... Oh, well, wait, Kaylee, really quickly. Are you sympathetic towards him?
Slightly.
Knowing his background, that he was successful and that he actually did, like, made a smart decision with taking his money, which he had saved up, and starting his own business, but it failed. Like, that's just a lot.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I feel bad for his situation. I feel like that could happen to anyone.
He lost his wife, everything.
Yeah, and I get that sucks, but like where I have a hard time feeling sympathy, and that may just be like how we are conditioned to view certain addictions, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. As like, oh, is that really? Like, you could just stop. Like, you're just, you know, like blowing money or whatever. I'm trying to be sympathetic. It was just hard watching him like get ahead a little bit and just like blow it and then get a little bit back and then go play a fucking claw machine. I'm like, Jesus, dude. But I get why he went back into the game. Mm-hmm. All of that said, like, life shouldn't be this hard. Like, you shouldn't be willing to die so your mom doesn't lose her feet. Like, she should just not have to lose her feet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, healthcare, that should just not be a problem. So anyway, you know what was embarrassing? Oh, no, wait. The cop, there's a detective in the police station when Ki-hyun tries to tell what happened to him, and he overhears that, and he sees the card with the geometric symbols on it. And then when he gets a call from his mother, it turns out his younger brother is missing, and he goes to his brother's room and his fish are dead. I don't know why that really fucked with me.
Because we have fish.
Well, at this point, I don't think.
No, it's not that.
At this point, did we know how many days, like how long it's been? I don't know if we.
I was gonna ask you guys that. I thought like at least 2.
Yeah.
Like they were picked up at night. And, like, we didn't see them eating or anything like that. So, and then they were dropped off at night. So, I'm going to say at least 24 hours. At least 24 hours. I'm thinking, like, closer to 48.
Yeah, cause I think I don't know if it was his mother or they're like, you've been gone for days.
Mm.
Yeah. I wonder if his brother was from an older game then.
Yeah, that's true too. Not necessarily that one.
I guess they ain't bad in a couple days. They would die.
So he finds that card and then he goes back to the police station to get Ki-hyun's name and address, right? And then okay, so we already talked about that. I will say I love when number 67 threw that coffee in that man's face
and held him at knife point.
And stole his money. But like it was so sudden. Like, you know how sometimes you can see something coming, it's like so obvious, like, oh, she's gonna throw that drink in his face or something. Like, I don't know, my brain wasn't nowhere near there. So like she threw the whole fucking pot of coffee in his face. And then Sung-woo, it's bad enough he calls his mother from like around the corner. And he can see her at work, and he's calling her pretending to be in America. And then she gets a customer, and she's like bragging to this customer about her son, to the point where when the woman is like, oh, well, if he's single, you know, I know someone that maybe, she's like, no, my son has high standards. And you look like you only know whores. I don't know. I don't know why she was
Your
so...
feet are dirty. Get out of here.
Yeah, I don't know why she was so turned off by this woman, but she was like, mm-mm. And then the cops come and they're like, your son ain't shit. I'm like, oh, this is terrible. I felt so bad for her. All she was trying to do is flex on her son. Or flex with her son. And I remarked to Kaylee that I thought she's so pretty, and I watched someone react to this video, and they were like the same thing. They were like, oh, his mom's beautiful. Anyway, so I think I'm less sympathetic to Sung-woo because of this too. Like, you know, he put his mom in that position. So let's talk about 101 on the bridge.
I remember
like freaking, it just reminded me of like Fast and Furious type shit. For some reason. I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Kaylee, what were you saying?
I remember you were watching this episode in the living room today, and I wasn't paying attention. I was on my phone, but I'd have like my earbuds in, so I could like hear you watching the episode. You were reacting very loudly to this episode. Like, I just hear you go, oh no. Like, Jesus Christ, like they're not even in the game. What is happening? And then I watched, and then you made me watch this scene. Yes! You rewound it and made me watch this scene. I'm like, oh.
This is pretty fucking terrible, right?
I thought it was cool.
I mean, he turned him in. Shit.
Oh my god. He turned him into these guys from the Philippines, I guess, that he owes money to, and they've decided they want his organs instead. And I'm like, really? Is it really that practical? Because you gotta like have ice ready and like is it really?
None of these guys had an ice chest with them.
Right? I was like, it's a mess. It's like, what do we do? Do you do it right here in the freeway? What's happening? It's like, I don't get this.
I don't think they literally wanted his kidneys. I think that he was just telling them.
No, I really feel like they were going to take his organs.
I don't know.
Yeah, how else would they make their money back?
Right? I'm like, he was very specific about what they were going to take, too. Like, he had a fucking shopping list.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
A black market shopping list. Anyway, yeah, so he, like, stabs the guy in the leg because he's going to turn him in, and I did not, like, okay, so this actor, I really need to look up his name. I know him from Beyond Evil, which is a K-drama I covered on the premium podcast about a month or so ago. And he plays a smarmy asshole in that show too. And I've never... Oh, it's funny because in the other show, in Beyond Evil, his character is, again, this criminal guy who spent time in Russia, I think, like dealing with a lot of Russian mobsters. And so to make himself like feel or present that he's better than other people, he would often speak in Russian just because he could, and he knew no one else understood him. So I thought this was funny here when these guys from the Philippines come because he owes them money, and he gets out the car, but he told them, welcome to Korea. Like, oh shit. Welcome to Korea. And yeah, then he jumps into the ocean, as you do.
The ocean.
Or, no.
I'm like, what is the fucking ocean?
The river. Okay, I'm sorry. The Han River, most likely. Okay. Shut up, Donnie. Anyway, so everybody's going back, right? Because basically they need to. Oh well, wait. First, Ki-hyun goes and asks his SY. Oh, look, what was he thinking?
Wait. Did we talk about Ollie?
No, we didn't.
What he did to
We
his
briefly
boss.
did, but we didn't talk about like what he did to his boss. No.
Wait, what? I have to take exception with what he did to his boss. What his boss did to himself.
What he
He pushed
indirectly.
his boss. Some scrunching happened.
That's what that man did to himself. Okay. What even like his boss just wouldn't pay him.
Yeah, because he's stingy.
Clearly had cash on him and just like wouldn't pay him. And he's like chasing him, trying to get his money, and his boss like puts his hand on a piece of machinery that's like on and spinning and flattening and
Crushes his fingers.
so
I expected it. I didn't expect that thing to stop. I thought it was just gonna keep going and take it off his whole arm.
right.
I'm assuming probably one of the other employees rushed to stop it.
Maybe not. Maybe he owed him money too.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be one of those scenes where he pulls the money out and he goes flying, and all the employees see, oh shit, this guy's lying. He's got money. And then they all push him in the machine. And he squishes.
Oh, then just Jesus Christ.
That's my
So, like, if that's your boss and he owes you wages, do you turn the machine off?
Nah.
Jesus Christ. I don't know.
But then Ollie
Poor guy
took the
had to go
money
to-
and ran.
Yeah, and then he had to tell his wife, like, we need to go.
Why would you hand her the envelope with blood on it? Like, Jesus Christ.
Don't
Like,
ask questions. Let's move.
What were you thinking? So then Ki-hyun goes to his ex-wife to ask for money for his mother's surgery. And she was like, you got a lot of goddamn nerve. She reads him for filth. And you could tell that she feels bad when she hears that it's for his mom and how bad his mom, how bad her health is, how serious it is. But she still says no because she'd have to ask her husband. And then, of course, her husband comes home and this scene begins, it's like on a close-up of a family photo. So it's her and her new husband and their daughter and then a little boy. And I was
They didn't look much younger than the daughter.
Right. I was like, what is happening? And I even said to Kaylee, I was like, oh, I wonder if that's like the husband's child from his previous marriage too. That's neat.
But that boy came running up like, Mommy!
Oh, Ma! Mm-hmm. So, yeah. This was so embarrassing and uncomfortable. Even the little girl was like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Dad, just leave.
Just please. She's like, we're going to be late going to the steakhouse again. So when the ex comes outside and he gives him the money, like this was so cringe because I knew exactly how this was going to go. I was like, he thinks that this is a loan and all is good. And this man is paying you to not exist anymore. This man is like, you need to leave. Like, he wants you to abandon your child. For real.
I'm buying your fatherhood. Get out of here.
Right? I was like, oh, man, you deserve the hit that you're about to get. And sure enough. And then sure enough, the little girl shows up now. It's like, oh, you can't win, can you? I get why he went back. I'm just saying. So yeah, he sees 101 again, and not 101. I'm sorry, number 1, right? Mm-hmm. Who tells him he's going back in, and he runs into.
And see, I don't.
What?
That was a little
sus.
Suspicious to me.
That's what I said.
This old guy is just there because he was supposed to be sickly and dementia and whatever, and he's out by himself in a whole different city. Hey, You think about this game?
This is one of the times. This is one of the times I was yelling out like what Kaylee's talking about, because I was like, "What are you doing there? This is this is too. You just happen to be here." Although I will say, they did show us him getting in the van, like he's just like them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least we see him waiting for the van. I don't know why I'm so suspicious of this whole dude, who I actually really like. Like when they first realized like that someone, like all the people got shot, like that was rushing to leave, and she turns around. He gleefully was like tippy-toeing over those dead bodies.
Yeah, he was the first one to move after everyone was frozen.
That's what I mean. Like he didn't need a buffer round. He was good to go. He was like, okay, got it. I got the rules. Let's go. Oh my God. And was he the first one to cross? He was, right?
No, I don't think he was. I think people started passing him when they started doing it.
Okay.
I remember he bragged that he crossed before the main guy.
Oh yeah, right. He did. He's like, Joe, bitch ass. No, not like that, but
basically 200 people crossed before that guy.
So he, the cop whose name is, I think, Junho. I'm gonna double check. He approaches, Junho approaches Kian, and he's like, I'm looking for my brother. You said that there was something going on. It sounds familiar. He had a card like yours. He's like, oh, I was drunk. I made it up, whatever. He's like, I'm in no position to help. And he goes back in the game. And I was like, please be following him. And he was.
I know he was. This whole ending I loved. I love the shot with that was like the same frame with everybody waiting, and then shown from different angles.
Yeah,
and then just this ending, like you just knew that this guy was going to be following him. I didn't expect the other girl to be
awake.
Her mouth, right, covering her mouth from the gas.
I love her so much.
Okay. Now I must say, like you, I didn't see that coming, but I have to say, when I first watched this, and you see them all getting in and the gas going on, I actually sat there and tried to hold my breath, like to pretend, like to see if I could have done that. And also wondering, like, could you get away with, like, maybe if you had put plugs up your nose ahead of time, like I was just really like overthinking it. But I'm happy to see that they're telling me that it's possible. That she, like, just held her breath and faked it?
Yep.
Until it dissipated. Yeah, I mean, I guess it would have to, because he can't drive with that mask on. So it would have to go away pretty quickly. All right. Anything else before I check feedback, which I'm not sure we have, but I'm going to double check.
I have something to say.
Okay.
Or to ask, rather.
Okay.
I want to know, who are you guys rooting for to win? Or technically, who's your favorite so far?
I'm gonna say 67 because she's a woman. No, but honestly, like, I mean, I want them all to win, because, like the guy said before, he's like, just because we're in debt doesn't mean we deserve to die. I think, like, I mean, this is entertaining for like TV purposes, so I won't like get too deep in political.
Right, it's the reasons, like, why are they in debt? Like,
yeah.
The young girl, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was her issue? It was something with her mother, right?
Her mother, her family is in North Korea, and she was paying to have them.
So that, like, out of all of them that they've told the stories, she has the most meaningful, like, why she needs this money. All the other ones to me are just
okay, but here's the thing, like, that shouldn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
But
like,
if you're
being broke, like, we owe people money. Like, everybody owes people money. Like, owing money, having debt doesn't mean, like, we shouldn't be rooting for them. That's what I mean. Like, and that's what I said. But
the reason you're in debt is because you're a fuck up.
But what does that mean?
Gambling it away, or
okay, but you yourself said.
Shit with it.
But you yourself said that gambling's an addiction. So, like, where do we, like? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I think is more interesting. Like, I'm rooting for everybody. But, like, who's my favorite character? 67. What about you?
I'm not thinking of their backstories. I just pick who I like. And I like the girl.
You sound like somebody at the horse race who's like, I don't need to know the history of the jockey and the horse. What's the name? I like that.
I was actually going to say I feel like I'm one of the rich people just betting on who I like.
Like Daddy's theory. Like, you're like, oh my God. Okay. I want to make sure I have her name because oh, I hate the way this is sectioned off. It's hard to find her character right away. All right, this is frustrating because she's a major character. I'm going through IMDb and I don't see her. Unless she doesn't have a photo for some reason, but that's not. Oh, hey, that's Homeboy that I follow on Twitter, Edward Hong. He's player 244. Yeah, this is weird. I guess maybe, unless she doesn't have a photo and I just like scrolled right by it. I thought that IMDb would list like in order of oh, this is her. Yeah, I found her. She doesn't have a photo. Her real name is Sebyok Kang. Her character's name is Hoyeon. So, anyway. Oh my God! I follow this person on Twitter too. He plays Ook Young? And he's in all 8 episodes. Okay. Well, I feel like now that they're going back in. Okay, so before we go, and again, there's no. Okay, we only have one bit of feedback, and it's from Peyton, who says, "Love this show. It's so messed up. This whole show is." It's not like Kaylee. It's terribly. It's just horrible to watch. Humanity at its worst. I love it. This whole show is basically people ain't shit. Oh, so I'm not 100% clear on how they got to go, because after they voted and it was like, oh, the majority wants to stop playing, the people who voted that they wanted to stay were like, well, fine, fuck it, let them go, let us stay. And they were like, something like, we'll see that you get an opportunity to play again. So this is just a whole new set of games. Like, do you see what I mean? Like,
do you think it'll start over?
That's what I'm wondering. Like,
no, I think I thought they said continuation, so I thought it would just continue where they left.
So it's just going to be like these 201 people,
right?
And if then they all choose to come back, it might.
They
be
have to, because he said that in order for them to come back, a majority of them have to vote to come back, or they have to get the others to come back. Like, it was something in there.
But wait a minute. Left. Even the ones that left, that voted no, I don't want to play anymore, and left, I don't think they got reinvited, did they?
Yeah, I think you had to get.
I don't think
to
you
come
have
back. That's
to.
why
the main guy got reinvited.
But I think somebody else might have been behind that. Like, I don't know. It's just that's why I feel like the.
Wait. Who got reinvited?
The main guy. Even though he voted no, he got a card again.
No. Okay, no. I mean, I get that, but Daddy is saying like you can't say no. Like, I think you can say no. You don't have to like call the number.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was saying like they had no choice.
Gotcha. I guess.
Right. So I'm thinking like you didn't have to come back. So what I'm just curious is like, is it going to be like, you know, do they do this shit like every Tuesday? And so like this is a new round of people that may include the people who chose to come back. Like, or is it now just these 201 people? I guess we'll find out. Okay. So anyway, thank you guys for listening. Like I said, we're going to be doing these 2 at a time. We'll be recording for the next 2 episodes tomorrow. These will be up on the premium channel first before it hits our free stream. If you are interested in becoming a premium subscriber, head over to patreon.com/podcastfandom. For our premium content, we cover all of the Marvel Disney Plus shows. We cover Westworld. We'll be covering the new Wheel of Time series, Foundation. Did I say the new Game of Thrones series? No, I said Wheel of Time, but we'll also be doing the new Game of Thrones series, right?
There's a new Game of Thrones series?
Yeah, it's a prequel series. It's called House of the Dragon, I think. So, yeah. And we're currently finishing up Attack on Titan. I'm going to cry. And we'll be jumping into... we'll be jumping into other anime right away, like Erased and then Demon Slayer. So, again, a lot of good content over on patreon.com/podcastfandom. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.